My name is Damian. I'm from DesignersCouch. And so I'm trying to solve a very simple problem. And as we all know, design is on the up and up. Everyone needs it for their product. It's a big differentiator. So every entrepreneur is looking for a designer. We're trying to provide a different way for startups to connect with designers. And how we do this is by creating a platform that allows startups to join a website that designers partake on. So think of it as Dribbble meets AngelList. The same way you have AngelList as a startup community and you have Dribbble as a design community. Well, we have both where designers are active on the site and startups can join the site, follow those designers, and engage them. There's 3 different levels of engagement. I'll just sign in to show you guys. So there's 3 levels of engagement. One is the obvious. A startup, a mature one, can post a job. The second one is where you can post projects. So for example, if you're looking for a logo design, a landing page, or to do a phase of a project which be like branding, you can post that project and then designers would apply to it. The third part is a little bit different, where you can pitch your startup and look for creative investment. So creative investment is essentially what an angel investor does, but it's a designer doing it, and they invest their time and talent, and they do this for equity. So if you're interested in having that designer do creative investment, you pitch your startup, and they would basically connect with you, and then you can talk about the details of how that would work. The other part is that we're trying to introduce things like design advisor. There's a lot of advisors in startups, but usually not designers. Why not? So if you can get really talented designers to join your team as an advisor, then they can give you 1-2 hours a week, and you give them what, 0.1-0.25% equity, and they can help you with your product and develop better branding and better UI and better UX. So this is the other strategy that we use for engagement. So these are all different ways that you can engage designers, which is much different from what Dribbble does, which is simply a job board. And unless you have $200 and you can pay for a job post, it's not really going to work for startups who are bootstrapping. So this is a different way of engaging with designers. I'll just show you how it works. As I said, it's a community for designers, so they submit their work. You can visit their profile. So for example, this is my profile. It's a resume. This resume is pulled from LinkedIn. You can see their portfolio. And the portfolio is sort of like a timeline like Facebook, so you can browse all the way back and see how that designer have progressed over time. So there's other social aspects of it that you can check for the designer, such as who they're following and their followers as well. So that kind of acts as a social traction. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if hiring a designer, it's usually good to hire one who has a pretty good following. It's a good thing for the product. So this is the community part of it. So everything that you're looking at right now is a designer point of view. This is what designers see when they log into the site. So you have a listing of all the startups. Then designers can essentially go to creatives part of it. So this is similar. Once you log in as a startup, this page is similar to what you would see. You'd be able to search by location, search by the opportunity. So designers would fill in their profile what they're looking for, whether it's creative investment, design advisor, full-time, part-time. So you can search right down to those details and get results based on that and connect with those designers. You can search by skill set as well, so whether they're UI, UX, branding, interaction, and so on.
30 seconds, yeah.
Okay. I just want to show you quickly a startup profile. How startup profile works is that right now you log in with AngelList, it pulls all your data from AngelList, and it provides a profile that looks very much like this. So all the data comes from AngelList. So the people who follows you on AngelList, the founders, advisors, investors, reviews, everything. Now what that does, it basically makes it transparent and let designers know everything about the startup. Because usually how it works is that some random guy comes up to a designer, hey, I'd like you to design for this product, and then he gets shafted, and this basically makes designers jaded from startups. So we're trying to fix that problem as well. So we provide a lot of information about the startups, and designers can make an educated decisions about the startups they want to work for.
Cool. Thank you.
How did you or how are you solving the chicken and the egg problem? It's a platform. How do you attract users?
We already have 8,000 designers.
How did you
So we had a community before. So essentially this is a pivot, and we're still pivoting. It's been a month-long pivot. So we have 8,000 designers. We have about 100 on the waiting list, and we have 100 startups on the waiting list as well.
Hi, I have two questions. One is, I'm a designer myself. How do I bring my portfolio from different places? I already have my portfolio at two places. It becomes difficult again loading it at one place and tracking it. You have a timeline that.
Great question. And the question is essentially how does a designer import pieces from all the different profiles that they have, which is usually a lot. We're working on that, but for right now you can you submit your pieces, but in the future we hope to be able to pull from Behance and other design communities.
And the second question was, especially designers, we know that it's not just one introduction or one thing which we can start working on. Our specifications need to be one-to-one, like talking or maybe something similar.
Right.
And just having a paragraph or even an introduction with the startup doesn't help that much, rather than having a 2-hour conversation with the
So when a startup submit a pitch, for example, they're asked a very detailed question. In fact, they're asked the very question that an investor asks. So you get really detailed information about that startup, even including funding, investing, incubator, everything that an investor knows, the designer knows. And the reason we do that is because we see designers as being very important in the startup ecosystem right now. Any other questions?
What's your business model?
The business model, we're working on that currently. Most startups. It's still something that we're testing, whether it's a subscription or whether it's providing premium service to more mature startups like Twitter or LinkedIn or Airbnb, who obviously they pay like $20,000 to headhunters to recruit designers. So we would charge substantially less, which would be a pretty good amount for us.
So how long did it take for you guys to go from 0 to 8,000 designers?
We've been around for a couple of years actually, so it took a while to get that number. I think in the space of 1 year we actually went from 2,000 designers to 7,000 designers. And that was just a lot of, basically there was a big redesign that happened, and it went viral and everyone was talking about it, and that helped.
Well,